Alright, buckle up, this one's gonna be loud. Today on Cupchairs Reacts I've got Chaos and Disarray by Fighting Flies, a punk rock trio from Athens, Greece. If the title doesn't give it away, this track takes aim at hypocrisy, those people who criticize everyone else while doing the exact same thing. The band name ties right into that. They see these people as annoying flies that just won't quit, and they're here to swat them away with some fast, heavy and aggressive music. Their sound pulls from punk and nu metal inspired by bands like Planet of Zeus, Sum 41 and Foo Fighters, so I'm expecting a mix of chaotic energy, raw screams and punchy riffs. This was the final single before their first album dropped quite recently, and it's meant to capture everything they stand for: high-speed punk, heavy grooves and unapologetic attitude. Let's see how Fighting Flies brings this chaos to life in their song Chaos and Disarray. Here we go. Strong bass riff to kick things off, nice. Woo, that's a great nu metal groove. Really love the way the guitars add. Oh, that was an unexpected tempo shift. Can't quite make out the words though. That feels heavier again. Nice contrast. Ooh, whispers in the breaks, so eerie. The production's really crisp. You can hear everything that's going on. This is classic punk feel with a modern touch. Love the vocal delivery, so straightforward. That's just nu metal meets punk in the best way. Love how the track is structured. Oh, this is probably a lot of fun live. Oh, that was good. So guys, Fighting Flies definitely didn't hold back with this one. Chaos and Disarray is just 3 minutes of pure energy. The song opens with a strong bass riff, setting up this thick, almost nu metal inspired groove, and when the heavy rhythm guitars kick in, it really cements that weighty, old school vibe. But just when you think you've got the sound figured out, the verse hits and everything shifts. Suddenly it's all sped up, turning full punk mode with aggressive yelling, relentless drums and fast-paced guitar strumming. The contrast between the heavier, groovy intro and the frantic, high-energy verse makes the whole thing unpredictable in the best way. And what I initially thought was a pre-chorus actually doubles as the chorus, bringing back that heavier feel for a moment before throwing you straight into the next section. The break with whispered vocals was also a really nice touch. It gives the song a brief eerie pause before slamming back into the chaos, and it works really well with the lyrics. Production-wise, this is solid. Every instrument is clear, punchy, and well balanced, and I appreciate that they kept things raw and old school, no unnecessary electronics or overcomplicated structures, just pure high energy punk rock with a new metal edge. They definitely nailed the balance between heaviness and speed without making it feel messy. Now, I did see someone mention on YouTube that the lyrics can be a bit hard to catch just from listening, especially in the verses, and yeah, I get that, things move fast and there's a lot of grit in the vocal delivery, but the good news is the band has the full lyrics in the music video description, so definitely check that out. And honestly, you should watch the video anyway, because I'm sure they put a ton of effort into it and probably had an absolute blast making it. Lyrically, the track embodies that raw, defined punk spirit. It's all about rejecting conformity, calling out hypocrisy, and refusing to be part of the system. Lines like, "You are becoming what you hate, I am the one that you berate," hit hard. There's a strong sense of frustration with people who criticize others while falling into the exact same patterns themselves. And then there's the whole "we are the ones that still remain" hook, which almost feels like an anthem for those who refuse to back down or compromise. The closing lines about burning and looking great inside the flames, absolutely ruthless. So yeah, this band does not sugarcoat their message. Fighting Flies know exactly what they're doing, combining raw punk energy with just enough heaviness to keep things interesting. So if you want some more of that high quality, no nonsense punk rock, go and check out their full album. Also, let me know what you thought about the song in the comments. Huge shout out to Fighting Flies, and best of luck with everything they've got coming next. That's all for today, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!
We try and go between videos being serious and then the one we'll do after that is a bit fun, because we shot basically in the dark for 8 hours with a couple of red lights.
All music inspires us, but you know, it really does, because we do just listen to a lot of music.
Welcome to In the Chair, presented by Cupchairs, where you get to meet new artists, get to learn about new music. And today we have a band roughly out of London called Tova, with a couple of their members here today. So let's just get right to it. If you wouldn't mind, just introduce yourselves, talk a little bit about Tova, what you're doing now, and what you're planning on, and then we'll dive in deeper.
Hello, we are Tova. This is Pete.
Hello.
Pete plays bass, Pete sings,
Yep.
and Pete shouts.
Yeah, we do lots of stuff. This is Jack. He's the front man, the guitarist, the do everything, the social media. He's the everything else in the background guy. Yeah,
That is what I do.
yeah, pretty much.
We're currently
explain what Tova does.
Yeah,
so.
we're in the studio at the moment. We're just finishing up a new single that is coming out on the 21st of February. It's called Crown. We've just shot a music video for it up in Sheffield. For people outside of the UK, it's just a couple of hours away from where we are. It's colder and scarier than here. We shot a music video with the bass player from a band called While She Sleeps. Has directed it. We had some really cool people in the video with us, and it's come out. We've just checked through the edits this week from the video. It looks absolutely insane. It's really cool. And we're planning on the biggest festival that we've played so far as a band this April. We are playing Takedown Festival. on the main stage, which will be very exciting. And we are planning touring for spring onwards and releasing as much music as we can possibly get out.
That's a lot. That's a lot. That's good to know. You're staying really busy. With a video, I've always been fascinated by this. You decide we want a video, we want to do a video. Who comes up with the concepts? How did you decide to film in Sheffield as opposed to any other place?
Well, the concept for the video came around with so Ben, our keyboard player, he normally kind of fleshes out the ideas that we have for videos. We base it roughly on lyrics that we thought about. It doesn't have to, a lot of the time, it doesn't have to directly fit to what the lyrics are in the song. Pete and Steve, for example, came up with the idea for a previous video for a song called Fever, where it was like PlayStation 2 graphics, and we filmed it all with like GoPro cameras like on our heads and on our chest and stuff, and we turned it into like a PlayStation 2 game. So we try and go between videos being serious, and then the one we'll do after that is a bit funny, because I think when you're making weird, heavy music, you have to do it with a little bit of humor. It can't be. I think for us, it can't be super serious all the time, because it's not who we are.
Yeah,
really.
definitely.
The latest one, again, yeah, that was Ben who sorted the concept for it. We did it in Sheffield simply because the guy that directed it is from there. The band that he is in is also there. The main actors that we wanted to use in the video are in Sheffield. Our manager's in Sheffield, so we thought we'll just suck it up and drive for 4 hours. I know you guys in America are like driving for 4 hours is nothing. It's quite a lot over here. We're a really small island. So we went up there. It was freezing cold. And we shot basically in the dark for 8 hours with a couple of red lights on. And it's come out really cool. It's come out really cool.
Do you have a target release date?
It's gonna come out on the same day as the single, I think, which will be on the 21st of February. It should be out.
Wow, real soon. Yeah.
Yeah, in the next couple of weeks.
Talking about distances, it's funny. We talked before the interview here. I live in Austin, Texas, and I've been in bands for a long time with my wife. I'm the drummer and she's the bassist, and we kind of had a rule as we toured regionally was the biggest cities that we'd hit frequently were Houston and Dallas, and they're both about 3 hours away. And our rule was if it's further away than 3 hours, we get a hotel.
Yeah.
But if it's 3 hours, you get out of the gig at 2 a.m. and then start driving back and get home at 5 and then go to work, at 9 in the morning.
You've got that. That is absolutely.
That's my life right
That's
now.
what you say. That's what, whenever we do stuff anywhere, me and Pete have been touring together for years, both in this band and in previous stuff. And Pete will make sure now that if we are a couple of hours away from wherever we are, that we're gonna need to stay somewhere. Because when we first started, we would sleep on floors and the classic stuff that you do. We slept in really weird places and just anywhere that we can lie down. And I think we're fortunate enough now that the band's in a position where if we can go somewhere, we'll be able to get a hotel, which I think it's
usually just one hotel room that has one double bed, and either two of us are on it and two of us are on the floor, or we're all in the double bed, or if there's just one single bed in the corner of the room and all of us are on the floor. Yeah, it's usually something like that to try and keep costs as low as possible. But we're getting to a point where we just can't be bothered to drive back at 2 a.m. for 3 hours anymore.
No, not at all.
No, that's cool. I kind of skipped over the band itself. I mean, I've listened to a good amount of the music that you put out so far, and it's pretty heavy, pretty aggressive. Can you talk a little bit about your influences and when people who are fans of this band would enjoy your band, sort of thing?
Sure. Okay. I'll name one band and you name another band because we'll just send the same
ones.
Goodness
me. Okay.
Okay. Right. Enter Shikari.
See, I'm always told Arctic Monkeys I don't know why. I think it's the northern element coming from you.
Maybe.
I think that's all it is.
Okay.
I don't know why, but yeah, Arctic Monkeys is it's a very soft core version. Maybe early Arctic Monkeys.
Okay. I'll take
They're
that.
a bit more punk back then.
We are influenced. Well, I mean, there's so much stuff. I mean, architects, I'd say.
Yeah, Architects, Sleep Token. A lot of me and Jack, a lot of the time, are listening to all types of music. And Jack often says to me that he doesn't know anyone that listens to as much music as I do. And it's such a broad spectrum. Like, for instance, at the moment, I've been listening to a lot of the Far Side, which is just like old 90s hip hop, Tribe Called Quest. You know, I've been listening to that at the moment. I'm just loving it, enjoying it. But maybe like a week before, I was listening to pop with like Kim Petras or maybe Sam Smith or whoever, and just I just enjoy a broad spectrum. And I think if you look at our catalog from when we started to now and the progression of our music, I like to think that that shows a lot of that, because there are tracks that sound maybe very 80s influenced, or some that are very heavy, or some that are more punk and not metal, and just kind of there's a very I think all music just kind of, not to sound so crap, it's such a crap answer, but all music inspires us. But it really does, because we do just listen to a lot of music all the time.
Yeah, we do.
Everybody would love a Tova show. Your grandmother, your cousin, your child.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you know what? Like,
There's a bit of everything for everyone.
there is. I think there's more for some people than there is for other people, I suppose. But I think that there is if you are it's like, I think if you're a fan of like mainstream rock music, start with our song Fever and then kind of and then listen onwards.
Yeah.
If you're into like heavier alternative stuff, start with Fear and then listen to other things. I think those two are always the ones that I think they kind of show both sides of what we do. The newest song that we've just kind of worked on is influenced by UK drill music, which we've always kind of gone between like very UK specific styles of music. We always throw that stuff in there. So I'm heavily influenced by a band called The Streets, which are probably not really heard of in many places other than maybe England and a bit of Europe. And then like old school UK rappers like Professor Green. I love Professor Green, and there are so many things that I think make what we do quite unique, simply because if we try and go right, let's write a song like this band, we just get a bit bored, and we can't do it as well as if someone goes, oh, put out a song that sounds like Bring Me the Horizon. It's like, why? Because they've done it really well. They've done it as well as they'll do it. So there's no point in us trying to be like a watered down version of that.
Sure.
So
I also think that me and Jack were brought up on very similar music. We used to both, when we what we bonded over when we first met was that we both listened to UK garage music quite a lot. So it's very, R&B influenced. And so it's very different. It's worlds away from what metal or heavy music is. And we always try and use that as a large portion of our influence. So anything that's coming from that more maybe rap or hip hop or R&B kind of style, but trying to tweak it into a way where it sounds heavy and taking those ideas over into it, for us a lot of the time is usually a big win for us.
yeah, 100%.
It's interesting. There's a viral reel going around right now of an interview with Dave Grohl talking about his drumming, and he's talking about the opening fill on Smells Like Teen Spirit and how he completely stole it from the drummer of the Gap band.
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
70s and 80s R&B.
Oh, just clap boom, clap boom, clap boom,
Yeah.
clap.
Yeah.
And it's, as soon as you hear it, it's so obvious. But it is kind of interesting. Like you might be watching the Little Mermaid and hear a little like, oh, that melody's neat. That might fit in this song here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, that's cool. Always researching, always thinking. That's fun. What about the name Tova? What does it mean? How'd you come up with it?
It doesn't.
This is my favorite answer.
Is it a cuss word?
It doesn't. No, it doesn't mean anything. It's named after my friend's dog. My friend had a dog. She's now no longer with us. R.I.P. Tova. And I couldn't. I have a thing where I think most band names are rubbish. Like until the band are big, like any band name is, I'd say, apart from about three you mentioned in Dave Grohl. I think Nirvana is a great band name. I think
Yeah.
Muse is a great band name, and again with the I think Bring Me the Horizon's a good band name. I can't really think of any other bands that if you take away the cool stuff that they've done, that the band sounds cool.
Yeah.
Like, so we were just like, let's think of something that is a one-word answer. And then my friend was like, "Oh, my dog's called Tova," and I was like, "I'd never heard that name. That sounds cool."
Hmm.
And so many people now have said, "Oh, like there's like fans come up to us at shows and they've got like Tova tattoos, and they're like, oh, I got this. Did you know this means this in it? Or this is a Jewish word for hope, or this means a TOVA is like a test for ADHD." And we're just like, oh, our band's named after a dead dog.
Thinking of Dave Grohl, I think Foo Fighters is not a good band name.
It's awful.
It's yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about them, imagine there was no Nirvana and he just started a band called Foo Fighters, and you're like, right, guys, come to my band show. We're called the Foo Fighters. You're just thinking, who the fuck are you guys? Like,
Yeah.
no, I'm not gonna come and see you. Sleep Token. What? That just sounds so like wishy-washy. Like, no. So yeah, it's very
Yeah.
our band name story is always a favorite of mine.
Yeah.
No, it's funny I always think of the situation where a friend invites you to their show, or maybe a friend says, "Hey, come see my friend's show." My first thought is it's probably going to be terrible.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you hear the band name, like, oh, that's a terrible band name, and the band is probably terrible.
Yeah.
So when you go see that band, whatever friend's band it is, and they blow you away, you know, it's
Then that's
depressing.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that.
No, I love being surprised and going in with very low expectations. Uh, Something creatively you all did on your Spotify. The last artist I interviewed had this, but you did a Christmas song.
Yeah,
What
we
what
did.
what the hell is up with that?
I
Um,
think we should do one every year.
yeah, I
I
do.
think we should do one every year. It was such a random thing. We were just like, we haven't released a song in a while, and we were gonna try and release another song, or try and write, record, and do all of that with another song. But that kind of just wasn't right. We kind of thought halfway through, this isn't working. And then you just started doing some Christmas stuff, and then we were like, all right, fuck it, let's just go for it. Let's do something.
I Yeah, I think so. So when the band started, and I think the reason why the band's managed to keep going in the way that it has, which is constantly very bewildering to me, is it's wonderful that people have found it, is because of TikTok. And we put out a we did like a metal version of Carol of the Bells on TikTok last year, and it went mental. And I was like, oh, cool. Like this, and then when we were looking around for like what, because we've got hundreds of ideas, we were like, well, why don't we just put this out? Because it did really well last year, on this thing on social media. So let's put it out. There's no stress to it. We don't have to put any lyrics in. We were coming lyric ideas, but I was like, Carol of the Bells is such like an iconic thing that it doesn't really need any lyrics. And I thought, and then it doesn't really need to, blow people away with the amount it's streamed, but it just means that when we come to December next year, or this year, sorry, playing shows, we can throw that in there. We can throw that in
Mm,
there and it can fit into our set rather than, here's a cheesy version of a different Christmas song.
Yeah.
mm,
So that's why we did that. And again, it was just funny. It was just funny. If it makes us laugh, we do it,
yeah,
basically.
yeah.
Last year I got to visit with the drummer for Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Yeah.
And I remember when they came out, it was the mid 90s, and hair metal and heavy metal had really taken a dive, and grunge had taken over and everything. And it was a member or two of the band Savatage, which they were moderately popular but not huge. and I just heard, yeah, the guys from Sabotage have put together this Christmas group, and it just sounded like the most ridiculous idea. Like, well, that's dumb. And then, their biggest hit came out. Like, all right, well, that's kind of cool. And here it is, 2025, and I mean, they're touring on it every year.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
that was a better idea than I thought it was.
yeah.
Mm.
They've done it very well. They've done it very well. There are a lot of people that have been like, "You're just ripping off Trans-Siberian Orchestra," and I was like, "I'm not. Um, I'm ripping off whoever wrote the original song because it's in the public domain, so there's no copyright." So I was like, "That's what I'm ripping off." I was like, also, I think I'd watched Home Alone that week, and I was just like, "Oh, this is in there." It's creepy, man. Like it's. I don't really understand how it got into the realm of being a Christmas song. It's so dark. That song is so dark, and there's nothing about the tonality to me that screams Christmas. And I'm much more of a Halloween fan than Christmas. And that to me, it kind of bridges the gap. It's like if you put that out in like late November, December, people that still like Halloween are still feeling that, oh, I don't want it to be Christmas yet. Let me have this. And then people that like Christmas know it is a Christmas song. So I think it's the perfect. Anytime someone does a cover of that song, it'll do well. I think if they do it well, I suppose.
I kind of think of whether it's a Christmas song or just any cover song as kind of a gateway drug to get people addicted to your band. Um,
Definitely, definitely.
a band I used to be in, um, we had more of a jam band element. We would go play for 3.5 hours at a coffee shop or something like that. So we would start our song and not really have an idea of where it was going to go or what tempo we wanted to start it off. It was just very jam bandy. And we had a violin player, and we started keying on Pachelbel's canon and identified a few songs that had the same chord progression. So we'd start with those songs and then do a breakdown, and then the violinist comes in and maybe the older person in the back who hadn't liked the previous few songs perk up their ears, or whatever. Or the people who hated it went and got a beer.
Yeah,
But it definitely expands. If you hadn't done that, you would not have had a viral video. So
yeah, completely.
it was mostly positive. Many bad things go viral, but well, cool. I saw. Oh, I don't know if you even want to talk about this. I saw. I think it's on your link tree, an advertisement for looked like a pretty big show that had been canceled. Is there any dirt on that, or is it just a show that got canceled?
Yeah, man, the industry's full of no. Yeah, it was literally, unfortunately, the venue closed.
Ah,
The venue is closing down, which is very sad.
Like, we just couldn't find another one in such short time in order to keep it open.
Yeah,
So
it was just
it just had to go.
yeah, we were scrabbling around thinking, oh, we could play here or here or here, and all the venues that were around the same size were obviously already booked up because we booked it months and months ago, and we thought that we would rather play a show and be able to, if people are traveling to see us, because people have traveled from all over the world to come and see us and play in London, or in any city. And I think if people are making that effort and spending that money to come and see us, I don't want them to turn up and we're just playing in a pub somewhere where the sound is terrible. And there's nothing wrong with playing gigs in pubs, but I think because of the amount of stuff in our music and the layers and how kind of clear everything needs to be in order for people to have a good time and just enjoy what we're doing, we thought we'll push it back by a while rather than going, oh, it's next week now, and people go, well, I've not made arrangements and blah blah blah. But there's nothing that happened other than unfortunately the venue's closed down.
yeah, yeah. No, that definitely happens.
Mhm.
You guys have an amazing TikTok following. Is that pretty much all because of the Christmas song?
Nah.
No, that was slow and steady since lockdown, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
since we're kind of what we would describe as a COVID band, in that we were kind of getting there. We were at the beginnings of a band just before COVID, but then it was kind of COVID that kicked us off, where everyone would flock to social media because they've got nothing else to do, and we started writing some songs during lockdown, and we just documented it, and then you just started doing TikTok, and we actually at first fought it for the longest time. Our manager at the time was like, "You guys should do TikTok. We should do TikTok," and we were like, "Yeah, I'm not going to do some stupid dancing, or I'm not going to do this," sounding like such old fogies. But we then you embraced it, and you said, "All right, well, I'll take it on, and we'll see what happens with it." And then it just kind of just blown up from there. Really, it's kind of gotten to what are we at now, like 600?
No, not 600, 400 and something.
400,000 followers.
Yeah,
400,000 followers,
that's
which is just insane to think that, yeah, 400,000 people have just gone, "Oh, I like this. Let me start following it and see what they're doing later."
yeah.
Yeah, you have just over 400,000. So what I would start telling people is instead of say nearly half a million, nearly half a
Oh
million.
yeah, that
Oh
sounds better.
yeah, that's good.
Go ahead and
That's
start
good.
using the M word.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Baby. Yeah, we should. I think it's very interesting. I think having that because a large amount of the people that follow us are in America, which I think is obviously is a slow and steady thing. When you're not making, when you're not making music that is necessarily for the whole audience of the whole world.
masses.
It's not for the masses. It's quite niche and weird. Um, and when we're doing that, it takes a while to get tours sorted in different countries and stuff like that. But I think the nice thing that we know is that once we're playing shows and able to get across the pond and able to play shows in America, that it'll be received well, and the shows will be the same size over in where you guys are than as here. It's just the working visas, like that's the tricky thing. But I think
Yeah.
it's great to have, and I think social media can be used for such bad things, but it can also be used for a lot of the stuff we post on TikTok isn't relevant to a specific song. It's not promotion. There's nothing there where I'm promoting music really. A lot of the time it's just talking about things that people relate to, and then they'll find when they listen to the band, if they decide to, that what I've talked about in those videos relates to the music, which relates to those people's experiences. And I think as long as you're genuine, doing that stuff, and you're not super awkward about it, then it works. There's no magic formula and people trying to sell you courses on social media, and you got to post 7 seconds or you're not going to go viral. It's just like it doesn't really make a difference, I don't think. But yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. And every time I meet like an 18-year-old who thinks that I'm not cool, I'll show them my TikTok following, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh yeah, man." So that's good.
You should go hear this band because they have this many TikTok followers.
Yeah, and for no other reason.
Well, cool, cool. So when people watch this interview and learn about you and hear all this stuff, is tovaband.com the best place to start for people?
Yes, tovaband.com, or you can search for Tova. If you type in Tova Band on Instagram, Tova Music on Instagram, type in Tova Music, Tova Band, any of that stuff on TikTok especially as well, you'll be able to find it straight away. On our Instagram and on our TikTok and on our website, you've got links to all the music on Apple, Spotify, Deezer, everywhere else if I've forgotten any. Videos on YouTube. And if anyone messages us on Instagram or TikTok, we'll be the ones replying. We run everything ourselves. So we will be the people talking to you, not someone else, which is always nice.
Yeah, that's great. Well, you've got stuff coming up. You've got music coming out. You've got a video coming out. It's a great time. I appreciate you taking the time to come and visit. Is there anything else you want to get out there to let people know about?
There is new song. I'll say it again. Our new single "Crown" is going to be out on the 21st of February. The music video is also going to be out then. And Pete, have you got anything else that you want to share?
I have absolutely nothing.
He's got nothing. So
I've just had a child, so I'm very tired, and I'm going in and out of dropping in and out of dead. Just I'm still here, guys. I'm still here. Yep. So I have nothing in my brain right now.
And I don't have children, so I'm fine.
if we had uncovered that before the interview, we could have planned for you to fall asleep mid-interview, just nodding off. You start snoring. I just finished talking to Jack, but yeah, maybe
Yeah, dude, next time. Well,
Next
yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah.
Next
yeah,
time.
yeah. That'll be good. That'll be
Tova, it's that fucking band where the guy fell asleep. Ah, yeah.
good.
No, that would have been a great TikTok. But yeah, there's an idea for later if you're looking for.
I genuinely will use that, dude. I promise.
Cool, cool. All right, well, thanks, guys. Tova is here. This has been Cupchairs in the chair. Good to meet you. Good to talk to you. And yeah, we'll get this out. And I look forward to hearing music. And if you do make it to the States, please reach out. I'd
We
love to
will,
come
dude.
see you.
We will. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah,
All right, thank you.
I just bring my privacy. I be to my galaxy. I be getting some love and shit and you'll be judging me. Hey, I put all my special week just to go and flex. Just to show you very big steps I give me up fast. I get ready when I be that deal, keep that shit I get ready when you go and like the heat and don't worry, he's gonna hate me if I say it. When my business gonna hate me if I say it. Maybe your wrist is gonna hate me if I say it. Tell my family's gonna hate me if I say that. You will stop. We're running off stage.